Good morning, everybody. Ricky with Apple Valley Farm. Got a really cool project going on today, and I wanted to share it with you. Building a, let's just call it a home plate ring display case, something like that. And you may have seen these online. It's something that's shaped like a baseball home plate, but it has little shelves with pegs in it so you can put rings on it, like championship type rings and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm making one for somebody, and this may be something we want to make more of, but I wanted to show this to you, just kind of show you my process, just to see if it's interesting to you too. So let me show you how we're getting started. Okay, let me show you the plans that I've drawn up first. Now, a lot of people are going to buy a plan or something like that. I really am not a fan of that. I prefer to do things myself. So I will eventually go into SketchUp and do something formal, but for now, this is just kind of how I do it. I'm sketching everything out. So you can see this will be home plate, and we'll have the little shelves in here like that with the pegs on it. But you can see I've got my measurements, my angles, some notes. I'm just going to see how this works. A lot of this, for me, is flying by the seat of my pants, but I do need to have a general direction of where I'm going, and this helps me do it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to start cutting some boards to length for the frame with some of these miter joints right here. So let's do that first. Okay, for our first 90-degree corners, I want to cut some 45-degree miters. I'm going to do that just by setting our table on the chop saw here at 45 degrees. And I'm going to set my board up on edge. Now, I could leave it flat and change the bevel back here, but this is not really as accurate to me as this. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna set my board up on edge, and we're just gonna chop it like that. Now we've got a couple of 45-degree corners, so we're gonna have to cut these at 22.5 degrees. And if we come over to our miter saw, then we can see that's a real common setting. So we're gonna move the table to there, make a couple of cuts there. All right, so in theory, we've got the pieces cut, and let's just see generally how they're gonna do. Oh, look. That's gonna work. Yeah. Bam. All right, a few careful cuts and we are off to the races. Okay, now we're on to, let's go ahead and cut some of our shelving. That'll be good too. Let's cut the shelving. Okay, and the shelves are going in very nicely. Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. I think that's gonna have to come down a little more, but I like it. And my only concern is, though, I think this needs to be up a little more for it to be even. So I'm gonna recut this piece. Let's see what that final length needs to be. This is what I was talking about when I said we're adjusting on the fly. And this is our first time, so after this we'll have a more definite plan. But let's see what this is gonna need to be. There we go. Now that looks better. I will say I had to cut this like 3 times to get it the way that I wanted it. We're gonna have a 3-inch gap in between each shelf. So that works out just right. I will say this, as I'm going on, I'm discovering cutting the miters as my board sits up on its edge might not be providing a really true cut, true to the angle. We're going to see how that plays out. As you can see, I've kind of clamped this up to hold it a little bit in place, but I'm having some gap issues here, and we'll just have to see how that plays out. So, all right, now on to now we're on to some of the pegs. So let's lay some of that stuff out. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can do this with one hand as I hold the camera. I've already marked my halfway point. This is gonna be important because the plans, we're gonna have to adjust these plans. So I wanna find the halfway point on the board, which at 15 5/8, the halfway point is really just shy of 7 7/8 of an inch. All right, so I'm gonna mark that. Then I'm gonna be 1 inch in, and that's where I'm gonna drill my first hole. That'll be in the middle of the board, but 1 inch in from the front edge. I'm gonna drill these a 1/2 inch deep. I'm gonna drill them 3/8 holes, 1/2 of an inch deep. And they're gonna be 1.5 inches apart all the way down through here. And so that's what we're gonna do. That way, that'll give us a nice even spacing. I'm probably gonna make me a little jig so we can make the other board look exactly like this board, and we'll have something for a future project. So let's get to measuring these out, see if we can make us some sort of a jig. Okay, there's our jig, and we'll sand this up and tidy it up a little bit, but this will help us at least mark our holes. Then I'm going to drill the holes in the shelves on the drill press just to make sure that they're consistent and straight. Alrighty, they are looking very, very nice. Very nice. We'll sand these up, get these ready to go. Now we will cut our 3/8 inch dowel, 1.5 inches long. A 1/2 inch will go in the hole, then we'll have another inch protruding, and we're gonna do this on the chop saw. Okay, so all the pieces are sanded and ready to go except for the back, and we'll get to that in a minute. But let's go ahead and put this frame together. I don't think it's going to be that difficult, but it is going to require a little finesse. I'm going to use this as a block because we're going to need to clamp some of this up. And I was going to use maybe some pocket hole screws, but they would be really unsightly. So I really think some glue and brads will be just fine. So I'm just going to use some regular Titebond glue, wood glue, nothing special. Some 1 inch brads, and I think we'll put this thing together really nicely. Okay, well, even though this wasn't without its challenges, my miters were very sloppy. This one in particular, wow. But a little paint will help with that. And otherwise, though, I mean, this is looking really sharp. Really sharp. All right, on to the back. Okay, so we are ready to do the back. I'm going to use some 1/4-inch plywood, and I'm going to cut this out as the same shape as our home plate, and then we're going to tack it and glue it onto the back. Now, before I do that, though, I've got some hand painting to do on there, so I'm not going to attach it yet, but we're going to go ahead and get it cut out and ready to paint, and we're going to do that on the table saw. We could do measurements and hope that it matches up and all that, but to be honest, I don't trust myself enough, so we're not going to do that. I'm just going to trace around this. I'm just going to put it on this corner and then trace around it. There we go. Now let's cut that out. All right, let's see if it fits. It should fit. It better fit. All right, look out, Jack. It fits. Okay, good. Okay, we're ready to move ahead. That's gonna look really good. Bam. Man, it's gonna look sharp. Okay, now we're ready to paint the whole thing white. And of course, I'm not going to do that by hand because that would be insane. We're going to spray this and let it dry. I'm going to paint some baseball stuff and a number and everything on the back here. Then we will attach it, make it ready to hang, and bam, it'll be ready to go. Okay, let's paint it. All right, so we came out this morning. Everything is nice and dry. I've done a little sanding, which exposed some of the edges on here, and that's perfectly cool because I wanted to have just a little bit of a rustic look to it. So you can still see I've got some gap issues, but that's okay. Still doing well. This turned out really well, and as I sanded it, you can see some of my paint was pretty thin, but that's okay. We want kind of a worn look to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint our stuff on here. It won't take it long to dry. Then we'll attach that to the back of this and we'll be ready to go. All right, let's paint this back up. All right, so we got the painting done, and I actually think it looks really nice. I like it. Let's do a test fits. Just putting this on here. I think it's gonna, wow. It's gonna look really nice. The name is viewable. The number is great. I think it's going to be really, really nice. All right, so now we'll flip this over, attach the back, put some hangers on it, and this guy will be done. All right, so we have finished our home plate ring display case, and I am, frankly, oh, I don't know if you can see this with the glare on it. Yeah, I am very happy about this. Very, very happy. I do need to install some hangers. We'll put some D-ring hangers back here so it'll be easy to put up on the wall, but I think that looks really, really sharp. I like it. It was a lot of work. And I had wondered when I had seen these online, why are these things so expensive? Now I know why. There's a good bit of work in them. Very satisfying. A lot of simple techniques, but a lot of simple techniques. So this is a really good exercise, I think, just for kind of building some woodworking chops. I liked it, and I think it's good practice. Hey, I hope you liked it though, and I hope you learned something from this. I know it was a little long, but if you want to build one, then hopefully you can get some ideas from this. Hey, if you don't want to build one though, give me a shout. We'll make you one. We'll be glad to do it. This is what we do. So wherever you are, give me a shout. You can give me a holler over at info@applevalleyfarmga.com. You can look us up at www.applevalleyfarmga.com, or you can just give me a shout in the comments. Be just fine. Hey, if you liked what you saw here today and you're getting something out of it and you're enjoying this, please like us, hit the thumbs up, and please subscribe to our channel. We love you and we need you, and everybody that joins us is very important to what we do. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Take care.